Hello, everyone, and welcome to reviewing every single WrestleMania main event in history. Today, we are on WrestleMania 5 and Episode 5, where we saw the Macho Man Randy Savage defend his WWE Championship against Hulk Hogan on the Showcase of the Immortals. This match is very interesting, as it is when the Mega Powers exploded, as they had helped one another in the main event of WrestleMania 4 just a year prior. This match has been known to be probably one of the better ones from the early WrestleManias. However, I've never seen it before, so I'm going to be watching it for the very first time. And after having done so, I will cut to my reactions in a moment. Hello, everyone. Just got finished watching the match, and this continues the streak, let's go, of getting better main event WrestleMania matches every single year. The new order of reviews is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in order of quality. From this point onward, I will only be discussing the top 5. I won't be saying, at WrestleMania 13, every single match in order. I will only discuss the top 5 and potentially the bottom number 1 once there's more than 10. So there are not a lot of notes for this match. However, there are a few things that are preliminary that I have to discuss. Now that Randy Savage is a heel, he is not accompanied by Miss Elizabeth to the ring, and she gets her own entrance and is told to stand in a neutral corner for the match because nobody really knows if she'll side with Hogan or whether she'll side with Savage. Everybody comes to the ring. Hogan gets a big pop, Savage gets a decent pop, and Miss Elizabeth gets a mediocre one. Once the match begins, Randy just kind of runs around and doesn't want to get hit by Hogan for the first 2 minutes of this match. Hogan's just kind of chilling in the ring, and Randy kind of hops in, looks strong, and just runs away for a few minutes. And Hogan's just watching him the whole time, not having to do anything. It's, heel, scared of bad, big, good, babyface. Forgot the word. So the storytelling in this match, I will say it now, is pretty well done. I like it, and I think the storytelling as well as the match quality has been improving every single WrestleMania. This one, especially with Miss Elizabeth now, is much better than last year's with Miss Elizabeth. Eventually, since Savage just keeps running around the ring, Hogan says, okay, fine, I will get out of the ring and I'll chase you around. So Hogan hops out, they chase each other around for a minute, but Savage grabs Miss Elizabeth and puts her in front of him so Hogan can't attack because, can't hit a woman. So he's like, shucks, I can't hit him now. Whoopsie daisy. And so Hogan just slides back inside the ring. Once they start having a little tussle for about 5 minutes, I start to notice that the referee is generally, not that loud. He's kind of talking at this volume to them inside the ring, maybe a little bit louder than this, except for one thing. When they go outside of the ring, my man is loud. He is audible on this camera. If this is the volume he's talking to them normally, he's talking at this volume. Get in the ring. Get down from the top rope. And he's pretty audible only at those moments, so I appreciate it. I'm pretty sure it's Earl Hebner, so good job to him. Going on to some actual spots in this match. So Randy has some sort of arm bar in on Hogan. It's kind of an arm lock, nondescript, but it's hurting Hogan's arm. And the way that Hogan escapes this is certainly an original way to do it. So it's kind of locked in like this, where Hogan's stuck behind Savage. And instead of maybe trying to move out of the way, reverse the hold into some sort of, DDT, suplex, he just pulls down Savage's pants and throws him outside of the ring. And it's not, a little tug like some people do nowadays, where it just kind of pulls it off a little bit. And Savage sells this as if a gunshot has just shot him straight in the chest. So props to both men for selling it well, but Hogan, what are you trying to look at down there? A little bit later into the match, Hogan starts to bleed. He gets a cut right above his left eye, and it doesn't get that intense like some we've seen in prior WrestleManias, but it's present, and they mention it every once in a while. And from then on forward, Randy attacks the head and neck area of the Hulkster. So I don't really know where the spot is specifically that causes this cut. I don't know if it's work or shoot. But there is a moment where Hogan's doing that thing where he's kind of standing dazed like this, and Savage kicks right in the middle. And I think his shin may have made contact with Hogan's face, and that might be where the cut is coming from, but I can't really tell. A little bit later on into the match, Savage is still in control. and he pushes Hogan into the corner. Let's imagine you're the corner for the sake of this. He pushes Hogan into the corner, and Hogan bounces back, and Randy uses the momentum to try and roll up Hogan. But Hogan has so much momentum, he just does an entire, rolling somersault, and just kind of is like, "Whoa, huh?" And Savage, he knows that he messed up because he's like, "Oh shoot," and he has to kind of make up what to do there on the spot. They get back to the correct, order of things, and Hogan eventually does take control. Now Randy's getting beat up in the corner. Now this one I'm going to use my ring for because it's really only best exhibited if I use the ring. So Savage is getting beat up in the corner, right? Boom, 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 boom. Hogan walks away to maybe recover, catch some breath, and Savage, to sell this, goes doom, 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 and has to sit in the corner after having dribbled his skull on each of the ring steps. It's kind of like that one referee bump that a few people might have seen where the referee gets, I think, punched in the face and just dribbles his head down the ropes as he sells this punch to the cranium. It's very similar to that. So Hogan then, now that Savage is down and he's in control, body slams Savage all the way outside of the ring. Miss Elizabeth runs over to check on him, say, "Hey, you doing good? You good?" Helps him up, and then Savage is like, "Oh, thanks." Realizes it's Elizabeth and says, "Hey, no, you better not help me. I can do this all by myself. You're a woman. Get out of here." This gives Hogan an opportunity to run in and pick Savage up for a run into the post. It's a pretty normal move, but Miss Elizabeth is standing in front of the post because she doesn't want Savage to get hit because she likes Savage and Hogan at the same time. So she's like, Hogan's telling her, like, "Hey, move, move," and he's signaling with one arm. But she's like, "No, I'm not going to move." So Savage is able to drop down and push Hogan into the turnbuckle, or post. That time Elizabeth moves? Huh? And then immediately after that, she goes to check on Hogan. Like, I guess, in a sense, because Savage is more ruthless, he just automatically pushed Hogan without really thinking about it. But still, like, it's a little bit strange, but I do really enjoy the booking of this match. So Miss Elizabeth, she's helping Hogan now, like, "Hey, you good, you good?" Savage runs over and pulls her off of him and says, "Hey," and they start arguing a little bit up the ramp. So the referee at this point is so tired of them arguing, he just runs up between them. "Hey, you," pointing at Savage, "get back in the ring. You," pointing at Elizabeth, "get out of the arena," and just kicks her out of the entire show, and she doesn't come back. He's just like, "I don't want this lady around. Get her up out of here." And generally, this would mean that when the match ends, she'll come back. But nope, she's just gone. Doesn't come back. She's just chill. She's like, "Okay, whatever. Peace." And leaves the show eternally. So Savage does the move that he did in the prior year's match when he was up against Ted DiBiase, where he gets Hogan kind of in a headlock, and then, let's use the ring again for general purposes, and bounds over the top rope and catches Hogan's throat on the top rope. This move, it's pretty good looking, and Savage does it pretty well, so I enjoy it. And back to the point of, working on that head throat area. So Hogan's in, he's selling the throat attack, and then Randy takes some tape off of his wrist and begins to choke Hogan out with said tape. Hogan's sitting there, but it's on the opposite side of the referee. Referee doesn't notice. And then the Earl Hebner, the ref, doesn't call the match off for this. So Randy, in the pursuit of attacking the throat, gets Hogan not in, a sleeper like this, but in just straight up, like choke for a solid, minute and a half. And Earl's just like, "Hey, stop that. 1, 2, 3. And like the effort that he's giving to try and separate them is like the effort that you have when you're trying to put the grocery cart back when you're still doing something on your phone. It's that amount of effort. Like he's trying to help them, like, "Hey, get back. Come on, guys, you can't be doing that. That's against the rules. Come on, back in the ring." Like, he doesn't care at all, but he's still trying to enforce the rules. Huh? This really does set up the end of the match, though, as Randy Savage, now that he's beaten up Hogan so much, Hogan's basically passed out on the mat at this point, climbs up top, elbow drop, top rope, goes for the cover. 1, 2, kick out. What? Huh? Yes, Hogan not only kicks out of the elbow drop, which almost nobody does, he does it at an early 2 count, and this happened last year, too. when you kick out of a move like that, it's not a 1-2 kick out. It's a 1-2 kick out right there. But Hogan, in this match and prior matches we've seen, likes kicking out at an early 2 or a late 1, which really devalues the finisher. Yes, Hogan hulks up, and begins the worst part of this match by a long shot and just starts no-selling Randy's offense. Randy's hitting with punches straight in the face. Hogan's not selling it at all. Randy bounces off the ropes, trying to do something. Hogan picks him up. Slam. Randy's down on the mat. Leg drop. 1, 2, 3. New champion. Yeah, screw you, Randy Savage. Your finisher, that really cool elbow drop that seems to kill almost everybody, is absolutely meaningless. Hulk Hogan, everybody, he just won the world title. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that song is embedded in my brain for how many times I've heard it watching all of these matches because he's in 1 bazillion of them. However, other than that little bit there at the end, just kind of like WrestleMania 39 Night 2, this was a very entertaining match of which I will be giving a B. Yet again, as I've said, this keeps the streak alive of, a better WrestleMania match every single year. This match, it has a lot of story in it. And at the beginning of the year, the WrestleManias, I should say, it was just story. They were only telling a story, and a bad one at that. But now they're actually putting in some real wrestling work. And, no matter how much you may dislike Hulk Hogan, and listen, he's done some bad things in the past, you cannot discount the man like he didn't do work for the business in the 80s and early 90s. He puts in some work along with Savage, who is easily much better in ring between the two, but Hogan holds his own for the entirety of this match. So, one last time, I give this match a B. I hope you enjoyed it if you did watch it. If you didn't, I recommend you check it out for the historical aspect and the quality of the in-ring work. Make sure you have a good day, good evening, good night, good morning, good dawn, good desk, good whatever. Check out former and future episodes of this series, and goodbye.